Good morning, students. We will continue our chapter, The Necklace. Ma'am Loisel is young, pretty, ordinary, but discontented woman. She is of a humble background, but dreams of riches and comforts. She is proud of her beauty and wants to be admired. Her meager resources are not enough to satisfy her expensive cravings, making her angry all the time. Matilda was displeased when her husband showed the invitation. She felt humiliated and threw the invitation spitefully, as she had nothing beautiful enough to wear to such a grand gathering. So, we will continue our chapter. It was the short description of the chapter we have already read. By a violent effort, she had controlled her vexation and responded in a calm voice, wiping her moist cheeks. Nothing, only I have no dress, and consequently, I cannot go to this affair. Give your card to some colleague whose wife is better fitted out than I. Now, she controlled her anger, she controlled her frustration, and she replied in a calm voice. She wiped her cheeks. She replied calmly. She said the reason of her sadness was that she had no beautiful dress to wear in the party, so she could not go to the party. She advised her to give the invitation to some colleague whose wife had better opportunity than her. He was grieved but answered, "Let us see, Matilda, how much would a suitable costume cost? Something that would serve for other occasions, something very simple." Now his husband felt sad, but he replied, "Don't worry, we will purchase a dress. Tell me how much would a suitable costume cost?" She reflected for some seconds, thinking of a sum that she could ask for without bringing with it an immediate refusal and a frightened exclamation from the economical clerk. Now she thought for a minute. She thought that the amount should be according to our family, and it should be so my husband could not deny it. So finally she said in a hesitating voice, "I cannot tell exactly, but it seems to me that 400 francs ought to cover it." Now she thought, and now in a hesitating voice, in a tentative voice, she replied, "I am not sure about the exact sum, but it seems to me that 400 francs will be enough." He turned a little pale. Now the husband, he was worried, for he had saved just this sum to buy a gun that he might be able to join some hunting parties the next summer with some friends who went to shoot larks on Sunday. The person, he was worried. He had saved the amount 400 francs, but he saved the money to buy a gun. Why he saved the money? He may purchase a gun, so he might be able to join some hunting parties with his friends on next summer. The hunting parties the next summer, and he wanted to go with his friends to shoot larks on Sunday. Nevertheless, he answered, "Very well, I will give you 400 francs, but try to have a pretty dress. But now he was angry. He said, don't worry. In spite of that, he answered, I am ready to give you money, but try to have a pretty dress. Now, these are the questions. What fresh problem now disturbs Ma'am Loisel? How is the problem solved? You have to do these questions. The day of the ball approached and Ma'am Loisel seemed sad, disturbed, anxious. Now, the day of the party, the day of the function approached, but now again she was sad, she was disturbed, and she was anxious. Nevertheless, her dress was nearly ready. The husband, he could not understand what was the reason. As her dress was ready, her husband said to her one evening, what is the matter with you? You have acted strangely for 2 or 3 days. Now the husband, he asked the reason. Why again you are so sad, as your dress is ready now? And she responded, I am vexed not to have a jewel, nothing to adorn myself with. Now she replied, the reason of her sadness was she has no jewelry. Now she says, I am frustrated because I have no jewel, nothing to make attractive myself with. I shall have such a poverty stricken look. I would prefer not to go to this party. Now she said, without jewelry, I will look extremely poor and I would not prefer to go to this party. He replied, you can wear some natural flowers. In this season, they look very chic, stylishly fashionable. The husband, he said, she can wear some natural flowers, as in that season, flowers were there and they look very stylishly fashionable. She was not convinced, but she was not satisfied. No, she replied, there is nothing more humiliating than to have a shabby ear in the midst of rich women. She said, no, it will be humiliating than to have a shabby ear in the midst of rich women. She will look poor. Her appearance will not be according to the party, so she will not go there. Then her husband cried out, how stupid we are. Go and find your friend Ma'am Forrester and ask her to lend you her jewels. Now again her husband suggested to go to her friend Ma'am Forrester and ask her to lend you some jewelry. She uttered a cry of joy. It is true, she said, I had not thought of that. Now again she was happy. She was shouting with joy. She said, oh, I have forgotten it. And the next day she took herself to her friend's house and related her story of distress. Next day she went to her husband's house. She went to her friend's house and she explained her story, the story of distress. Ma'am Forrester went to her closet, took out a large jewel case. Now Ma'am Forrester, her friend, she went to her cupboard and she took out a jewel case, a jewel box from there, brought it, opened it and said, choose my dear. She asked her to open the box and to take whatever she want. She saw at first some bracelets, then a collar of pearls, then a Venetian cross of gold and jewels of admirable workmanship. Now she began to search, what can she wear in the party, what will be suitable to her. So at first she saw some bracelets, then a collar of pearls, a Venetian cross of gold, and so many jewels were there. She tried the jewels before the glass hesitated, but could neither decide to take them nor leave them. Then she asked, "Have you nothing more?" She tried so many jewels, but she could not decide to take them nor to leave them. Again she asked, "Have you nothing more?" "Why, yes, look for yourself. I do not know what will please you." She said, "Yes, now you can decide what you want to take." Suddenly she discovered in a black satin box a superb necklace of diamonds. Suddenly she discovered a necklace, a diamond necklace was there. It was in a black satin box and it was a superb necklace. The necklace was of diamonds. Her hands trembled as she took it out. As it was costly, her hands trembled to took it out. She placed it about her throat against her dress. Now she tried to match it and she placed it about her throat against her dress and was ecstatic, and she felt overwhelming happiness. She felt joy. Then she asked in a hesitating voice. Then she asked in a tentative voice, full of anxiety, "Could you lend me this? Only this." Now she decided to take this necklace. She asked, "Could you lend me this? I want only this necklace." "Why, yes, certainly." And her friend replied her, "Yes, certainly you can take it."